So hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Hope you're doing extremely well. This is your very own mascot this side, and today we will be diving deep into the programming ocean. And today is our lecture one. So let's fill up some energy within us, right? So without wasting any more time, let's start learning, right? So first of all, those of you who have not connected to Discord, please join the Discord channel. The link, the invite link, which will not expire till infinite time, is present in the description box, right? And please connect with me on the LinkedIn and post that you are here and gonna start learning DSA, right? So what you have to do, you have to join the Discord and connect with me on the LinkedIn. LinkedIn ID is also mentioned in the below only, right? So it's for easy to go, right? Also, I would request you to share this video and upcoming videos to your friends, as it feels better to learn in group and uplift your status with your homies, right? Okay, so all right, so first lectures, right? So today we will be learning about flowcharts and pseudocodes. So this will be our topic for today. I would request you that if you already know about these topics, please watch this lecture. Maybe on 1.5x, maybe on 2x, but please don't skip the lecture because these are your foundations, right? And you need to strengthen your foundations, right? So we will understand the function of these topics and we will explore the need of these two. So suppose we talk about DSA or normal level, right? DSA. You are here to learn DSA, right? All right. So as we're going to learn DSA, assume you are sitting in an interview, right? And the interview will tell you to solve a problem. So the problem can be of any type. So suppose I say that I have a Maggie packet, right? I have got a Maggie packet with me. I went to the market and bought a Maggie packet. Okay. Now I want to eat it. I want to eat it. How will I do it? So I guess some of the students are also very good cooks. So what you will say? You will say that boil the water, right? After it becomes hot, open the Maggie packet and put your Maggie in it, right? After some time, put the like masalas, right? Magic masala magic, right? Put masala, right? Cover the lid for some time, for some time. Take it out in whatever you want to like it to eat, right? In a bowl or in a plate, take it out and eat, right? You will say that these are the steps, right? These are the steps. Like step one is this, step two is this, right? Step three, step four, step five, step six, correct? So I think I've made the perfect Maggie up till now, right? So the problem statement was to eat Maggie, and we applied these steps to eat Maggie, right? Suppose I say that I have bought a candy, right? I have bought a candy and I want to eat it. So you will say that take your candy, unwrap it, right, and eat it. Simple. This one is a lot much shorter than this one, right? So my problem statement here was to eat my candy, and we applied this series of steps to solve the problem, right? Now, in short, you have to solve the problem and to solve the problem, you will tell me the steps to reach the solution. That is what we were looking at, right? These steps all together are forming an algorithm, right? So what is an algorithm? What is an algorithm? An algorithm is a series of steps to solve a problem. Nothing too complicated. Just keep it in your mind that algorithm is a series of steps to solve a problem, right? Take an example to one more example to make it clear. Let's say that we have to make some tea, right? Make some tea. Now guide me through it. How will you make tea? You will take a pan, right? After taking a pan, what do? You put water in it, you boil it, right? After that, put tea leaves, Then put anything you like cardamom, right, etc. Like yeah, adrak elaichi, I mean to say, right? Okay. After that, sugar and milk. Let it boil. Serve it and drink it. Serve and drink, right? So a problem statement was to taste the tea, like make and drink tea, and we defined a series of steps. So this is my algorithm to drink tea, right? Now the question is how to approach a problem, right? So like what do we do? Like you are sitting in an interview, right? And suppose you are DSA specialist, right? You have practiced 1,000 problems on lead code and you are a DSA specialist, right? So you are sitting in front of interviewer, you are this and the interviewer is here. Interviewer asks you a question. He gives you a problem, right? And you have to give me the algorithm, right? Now, you have to give me the algorithm. For that, like here, the problem was the interviewer asked you to take tea, right? You can only give me the algorithm to make tea if you know it. You can only provide me the algorithm of making tea if you know it, right? If you don't know what is tea or how to make it, how can you provide me the algorithm, right? You will not be able to provide me. So the question is how to approach a problem. Approach a problem. The main question in the field is like this one: how to approach a problem. Why? There are many data structures, right? There are many data structures. Like there is not a limit to what type of data structures are existing, right? So because of those many data structures, there are infinite number of algorithms. Infinite number of algorithms, right? How would you determine that to solve the T problem, I have to apply this algorithm, right? So for that, you will have to practice, you have to learn things. And that's what we are going to do in this course, right? So let's say that you have got the problem in which I provide you with two inputs. Input 1, input 2. Let's suppose input 1 is your 100 and input 2 is 200. Now, my problem statement is give me the sum of these two. Question is how to approach it. Question is how to approach it. So how will you do? You will say that I will take 100 from you, I will take 200 from you, I will add them up, and I will add them up like it will become 300, and I will tell you that the answer is 300, right? Similarly, if I provide you that my speed is currently 20 kilometers per hour, right? And it takes me a time of 2 hours to reach a particular distance, right? Particular destination. I want you to tell me what is the distance, right? For those of you who do not know, the formula is speed is equals to distance upon time. Now, as a problem solver, as an intelligent student, you will do. See, I have got speed. Okay, I have got speed. I have got time also, and I have to calculate distance. So my distance will be equals to my speed, which is in case 20 kilometer per hour into time, that is 2 hours. So my distance is actually sir 40 kilometers. I will say absolutely correct, right? So your algorithm was to take input 1, take input 2, add these two, return. Take input 1, take input 2, multiply these two, return, right? So this thing that you did above is what you have to do in all the programming questions, right? What did you do? Like some of you might be understanding that what did we do? We do not do anything, right? And you are saying that programming is done. No, you have done many things. What have you done? You have, let me change the thing. You have understood the problem. You have understood the problem statement, right? First thing that you did was you have understood the problem statement, right? Okay. After that, after understanding the problem statement, you have accepted the inputs. You have accepted the inputs, right? As in the first case, you took input as 100, you took input 2 as 200. Similarly, here you took input 1 as 20, input 2 as 2 hours, right? You have accepted the inputs from the user, right? The third step you did was you made an algorithm, although unknowingly, You made an algorithm to calculate a desired output from those input, right? From those inputs. Am I right? Guys, am I right? Yes, am I right? So these are the three steps you have to do in all programming. This is step one, understand the problem statement. This is step two, accept the inputs. This is step three, like Toad Marode. Like you have to break and make the inputs to calculate the desired output, right? These two steps, step one and step two, will remain same always for all programming questions. That is my statement to you. That step one and step two are always the same. Now, third one is something that will require practice so that you can form it correctly, right? Now, so suppose you encounter a problem statement. You have encountered a problem statement. I gave you a paper. I wrote problem statement on it, right? I gave you a paper. I write the problem statement on it, right? You are an intelligent guy, right? You are an intelligent guy. You read the paper, you understood the problem statement, you've seen the inputs, and you have made an algorithm in your mind. In your mind, right? Now, you want to tell the other peoples what's in your mind, what is the algorithm you developed, right? Now, is it possible in any way that the other people can read your mind? No. Until and unless they are Suhanisha or the other mind readers, no. Like, how can they read, right? So you have to give them a way that they can read it. Like, so what you will do is the thing you have in your mind, you will jot it down in a paper, in a piece of paper, right? In a piece of paper, roughly, let's say roughly, right? And to jot it down roughly, there are two ways. First one is flowchart. Second one is pseudocode. Let us understand what is the meaning of flowchart, and let us understand what is the meaning of pseudocode, right? So delving deep into the topic of flowchart, our first rough method to explain our solution. So flowchart is actually explaining the code through diagrammatic representation. Explaining the algorithm through diagrammatic representation, right? What does that mean? Suppose we take the example of 100 plus 200 only, right? So my answer to you is take 100, take 200, like take 100, oh sorry, take 100, take 200, add, and then return 300. That is print 300, sorry. It will be easier for you to understand print 300, right? This is your algorithm, right? Now, the flowchart says that just make the things like a proper nomenclature, right? So there are four kinds of boxes in flowchart. Four kinds of boxes. One is an ellipse. Second is in parallelogram. Third is in rectangle. And fourth is in diamond. Now, what does all this mean? We will understand. We will take one by one. For this one, right? See, think flowchart or pseudocode will not matter to you in the after stage. Like you will be writing the code without using the flowchart, without using the pseudocode, right? But these things are important to learn for the initial stages, because if you do not learn this, you will not be able to formulate what's happening right now, right? See, DSA is pretty foundational. You have to learn things from the basics, right? So this box, this ellipse marks for start or end, right? So you take 100. Before that, you have to start, right? You have to start taking the inputs. You have to start the process of algorithm, right? So start is used to start the algorithm, and similarly, after printing 300, you will end that okay, my work is done. So end is used to end the process. So this is also known as ternary or ternary, or say ternary box. That's a ternary box only, right? Okay, now this rectangle, oh, this parallelogram, what does this stand for? This stands for this values. What is this? This represents input output block, right? All the inputs and all the outputs will be done through this. So printing will also be done in a parallelogram. Third part, that is a rectangle. This is done for this part, right? This is done for this part. What is, oh sorry, yeah, what is done for this part? It is a processing block. Processing block, what does that mean? So anything you have to do, like you were here, you were doing 100 plus 200, right? 100 plus 200, right? In that case, 100 plus 200, that would be done in this block, like addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, anything, right? Anything that will be done in the processing block. Now this block is somewhat what do we say, interesting for you. This is a conditional block. See, condition in the left example there is no conditional block up till now, but we will discuss example shortly to understand what is a conditional block. So I'm giving you an overview. Conditional blocks are used to divide the algorithm. Like divide the algorithm in the sense, suppose here is a condition, right? So the condition can be true or can be false. If it is true, we have to do a certain series of steps. If it is false, do a certain series of steps, right? We will discuss. We will discuss, right? So let us see some flowcharts, right? So for first example, our first example. See, these are the also your potential questions, right? You can practice from this also. Okay. So as already discussed, we will make our specialty, but this time using a flowchart. So suppose the first step will be to start, right? Start the algorithm, right? After that, see, to make a T, there is no input output needed, right? So I will just use the processing blocks. I will say add water to pan, right? This is not pan card, guys. This is pan, that is frying pan or anything like that, like a storage container, right? After that, add tea leaves, right? This is the second step. And don't I forgot to heat it, so let's assume it is getting heated from the start till end, right? Okay, so forgive me for my bad cooking skills. Okay, add tea leaves, add sugar, and because our tea is special, add additives in the sense cardamom, etc., right? I don't know the names for English, sorry for that. Add additives, I only know about cardamom, elaichi, right? Adrak, like ginger also, right? Ginger, cardamom, okay, we got two. So add additives, boil, let it boil, right? And after boiling, end. Like, because the problem statement was to make specialty, not drink it, right? Okay, so there is a change. We have to make the specialty and leave it alone whether to drink it or not. That is not a problem. We have to make it. So what did I do? I started it. I added water to the pan. I added tea leaves. I added sugar. I added additives, and then I end. Right. So I don't think there is any problem, right? So let us take a realistic problem, right? That can be asked. Like that can be that is a valid programming question, right? The second, our second problem is print sum of A and B, right? Print sum of A and B. Now this will require some thinking. So as usual, start. What is the block for start? Is in ellipse, right? Second, print sum of A and B. For A and B, I have to read A, read B, right? So I have to take A as input. So my first input A. My second input B, right? My third step would be to print sum of A and B. So I will take another container and I will put sum equals to A plus B, right? This will be a processing block because I am doing an addition here. After that, Print sum. So for printing, I use a parallelogram again. That is an input output block. Print sum. And after printing sum, my work is finished. So I will just end. Any problem, guys? Any problem? Any problem? Are you not able to understand any parallelogram? Are you not able to understand any rectangle? I don't think so. Like, are we on the same page? Please comment yes if you are on the same page with the timestamp so that I can know that I am bringing some thing into the community, right? Third, average of A, B, C. Really simple for us. So please pause the video and draw the flow chart and then discuss with me. Is it correct or not? So I hope you have attempted it on your own. So start, right? First, input A. The block will be of type parallelogram. Very good. Second, input B. Block will be of type parallelogram. Again, very good. Third, input C. The block will be of type parallelogram, right? So all the average will, all the inputs are done right now. So processing block. What is the processing block contain? It will contain an average, that is A plus B plus C, that is sum of all three divided by 3. What is the block? A simple rectangle, right? A simple rectangle. After that, printing average or any other step. Printing average, right? It is printing average. And what is the kind of block? It is a parallelogram. Why? Because it is an output statement, and we use parallelogram for input as well as output. And then end. End is an oval shaped, right? So I hope you are clear with this. Let's move to another problem. Let's move to our fourth problem, right? Our fourth problem is to print twice of A. What is twice of A? Suppose you have got 2, return 4, you have got 3, return 6, right? So on and so forth. So what is our algorithm? As usual, start. Okay. Take input A, right? A parallelogram for input, right? Now my answer is actually 2 star A, right? Block will be rectangle. Why rectangle? Because you are doing a procedural step, right? Process, right? After that, print answer. Now what will be my block? It will be a parallelogram, right? Parallelogram. Print answer. Okay. After that, end. Because we have completed a task. So why to remain in the algorithm, right? Moving to the next one, right? See guys, if you are finding it boring, please cope up. You will get interesting lectures in 2 to 3 days, because see, these are the foundations. You are finding it boring because you've already done that, right? So moving on to the fifth problem. Our fifth problem is area of square, right? So please comment down the area of square, because I don't know what is the formula for area of square, right? Area of square, right? Area of square, how to calculate? Okay, I read one comment and I got the answer as area of square is side into side, side into side. So for area of a square, I have to take my input as side, right? So I will start. Okay, a good start means a well ending. So start. After that, input your side. After taking input, what do you do? My procedural step, that is area equals to side star side, right? This is my area, that is side square. Okay, and then print area, again a parallelogram, print area, and then end, right? So far so easy. So you will be thinking that programming is actually very easy, right? And believe me, it is very easy, right? It is nothing to be afraid of, right? Okay, our sixth problem is sixth and the last easy problem. Then I will twist a problem for you and let you think for some time. Okay, so it will be overall percentage, right? And here I will be disclosing my 10th marks, because my 12th marks were not as far as you should be knowing, but 10th marks were fairly good, right? So these are my marks distribution. So for English, 84, right? You will be thinking that why is sir asking you that this is very easy? This is very good, because this is the lowest I've attained in English, and my science was actually 97. Maths, as far as I remember, it was 95, SST, yeah, SST was also a dipping subject for me. 91. I was not able to cram any at all. Okay, and what do you mean? Hindi. Hindi was pretty great for me. I scored, I think, 98 in Hindi, right? So let's compute the percentage. How will we calculate the percentage? Right? So it's now your job to return me the overall percentage because I didn't calculate it at that time. Right? Start input English. Let's say English contains my English variable marks English marks, right? Input English. Similarly, input science. The science is a interesting subject, right? But I'm sorry to know that science does not come in that handy like what you learn in 11th 12th. In college is particularly different, right? Input science. After that, input maths. Okay, I got 3 marks up till now. After that, input the worst subject of all time, SST. I don't know why it is taught. Input SST, input Hindi, right? Now, what is my percentage formula? My percentage formula is sum of all these numbers, that is English plus science plus maths plus SST plus Hindi, divide by total number of marks that can be obtained. That can be 100 into 5, 500, right? Into 100. So my, let's say my sum is sum by 500 into 100. So this zero will just cut this zero, this zero will cut this zero. So my actual percentage is sum by 5. So what I will do, my procedural step will be, I'm taking my arrow here, right? My procedural step will be answer equals to English plus science plus maths plus SST plus Hindi whole divided by 5. This will be a single block, right? This will be a single block, and after that print answer. Now because of printing, a parallelogram again, and after that end. Any problem, guys? Any problem? Are we on the same page? Are we on the same page? Okay. See, I am asking you questions because I want to know the answers in the comment section, right? Do not just leave the video. Engage with me. If not able to answer on the comment section, please engage with me in the Discord, right? So that I can know that my playlist is reaching good number of people, right? Next problem. Next problem is, what is the problem number again? It is problem number 7, right? So as far we have encountered 7 problems. So check even or odd. Now I want you to pause this video, take your time, and then solve it, right? Let me take a break also. Okay, so I hope that you have tried your brains out and most of you must have solved it. If not, no problem because this uses an extra block that we learned about, that is conditional. How will we do it? Okay, even odd, right? So for now, let's see how can we do it. So start as usual. Nothing important right now. After that, input n. What is n here? The number you have to predict whether it is even or odd, right? So parallelogram. After that, a condition will arise. A condition will arise that if my number is even, if n is even, return even. That is print even. Else, else means otherwise. Let's say otherwise only. Otherwise, print odd. Right? This is only right. This is right now. So I will use a conditional. So let's see what is conditional doing here. So conditional. Conditional says n divisible by 2. Now, what is the definition of even? Definition of even is also same, that if a number is divisible by 2, it is an even number, otherwise it is an odd number. So if my n is divisible by 2, it is returning true, right? If it is returning true, then print even, right? right? Any problem? No. But it can return false also. So and is not divisible by 2. If it is returning false, in that case, print odd. So print odd, right? Print odd. And in both the cases, after printing, what do you have to do? End to mark piece. So end, right? Any problem, guys? Any problem? What did we do? We take took an input n. We check if n is divisible by 2. If this condition is evaluated to be true, that is n is divisible by true. In that case, return true. And if it is true, in that case, print even. But if this condition is not true, that means n is not divisible by true. That means false. So false will print odd, and then we will have to end our algorithm, right? So I hope you are clear with this, and let's move to the slightly tougher version of conditionals only, right? Slightly tougher version of conditionals only. Our eighth problem is to check positive, negative, or zero. That is, you have been provided with a number n. Let's say n is anything, right? N can be minus 28, n can be 28, n can be 0, n can be 26, n can be 25, n can be minus 24. Anything n can be. And you have to tell me whether the number is positive, negative, or 0. Positive means greater than 0, negative means less than 0, and 0 means 0, right? You will be using conditional. How? So we will say start. So I turned my engine on. Now the first step will be, I said that two steps. First step is to understand the problem statement, understood it correctly. Second step is to take the inputs. So to take the inputs, I will have to take input n. There is only one input available to me, input n, right? Another input is not available to me. So first two steps are clear. The third step says positive, negative, or zero. I will have to find an algorithm to answer this. So what I will say is, I will say if my number is greater than zero, print positive, right? Otherwise, two conditions are still possible. It can be negative, it can be zero, right? If n is less than zero, print negative. Nothing problem, right? If this is also not true, this is also not true. Only one case left. See, if a number is not greater than zero, if a number is not less than zero, the only possible case is print zero. See, if you are able to find any case which is not satisfied with all these three conditions, please DM me, right? Or comment in the comment section, right? So, if a number is not greater than zero, if a number is not less than zero, the only possibility is print zero. I will use this algorithm to answer my output, right? So, input n took input n. Now, my first condition, n greater than zero. This is my condition. See, if the output returns to be true, in that case, print positive, right? Otherwise, if this is not true and this returns false, then check for n less than 0. This is also a condition. It can also return true or false. If it returns true, then print negative, right? Talking about this condition false, this condition false. What is the condition left to us? Print 0. No condition left to us. Print 0. And then for all these three connected with end. 1, 2, 3, all come to an end, right? So I hope this was all clear to you. So let's move on to the next question. See, I know that many of the questions are pretty basic, but I'm covering the most of the questions I can, because I'm not going to make this lecture as small, right? I'm not going to make small lectures and cover the tutorial in smalls, right? I will take you deep. That's why I said that this is a deep dive option, right? Now, next thing. This is a pretty interesting problem. Let's say, I suppose it is a nice problem. So I'll say print counting from 1 to n. Now this is an interesting problem. I'm sure many of you will fall. If you obviously who are doing the coding for first time, many of you will fall. So for that reason, I want you to pause the video and try it on your own. If you are able to solve it, very good, very good. You have got a brilliant mind, right? If you are not, extra good. Why extra good? Because you will be able to learn, right? Okay. So I hope you have paused the video, tried on your own, right? So suppose my n is 1. What do I have to print for that? 1 to 1, that is only 1. My n is 2. I have to print 1 2. N is 3. I have to print 1 2 3. N is 4. 1 2 3 4. Right? N is 5. 1 2 3 4 5. So you're clear with the input output. Like what is your input? Your input is n. Your output is 1 to n. Right? So without hesitating, start. Start. Okay, started. After that, our second step was to take the inputs. So input n, right? Took your input n, right? Now you have to print from 1 to n. Let's suppose I'm standing at 1. Let's suppose I'm standing at 1. So I will have to print 1. Let's suppose my answer is currently 1. My answer is currently 1, right? So I'll say print answer. Print answer. So I got 1 in my output right now. Now I have to print 2. Suppose my n is 5. N is 5 given to me, right? Print answer. So it printed 1. After that, do not end it because answer plus equals to 1. That is answer equals to 1 plus 1. That right? It will be equals to 2. So after that, print answer. So I got 2. Right? After that, if I repeat this step again and again, again and again, so it will return 3, then 4, then 5. And after 5, I will say if answer is greater than n, if answer is at 6 and n is 5, in that case end. If answer is greater than n, that is conditional, answer greater than n, if it evaluates to be true, end, right? Otherwise, answer plus plus. False means answer plus equals to 1. Actually, this conditional has to be applied every time after printing answer every time. Okay. So for it was mentioned for 5 steps, right? So you did it for 5 times. What if I told you to write the counting from 500? That would be a tedious task. But let's say some of you are hardworking, right? And I actually do love hardworking people, right? 500. They made their flowchart. Salute to you guys. Now I want to see your hard work level. Make it 5,000. Do it again. Please do it for me. Okay. I think that firstly 1,000 people were watching my video. Out of them 10 did the 500 problem. Out of it 1 did the 5,000 problem. But I want to test the patience of this one guy also. Now do it. Will you be able to do it? No. Like you, it is possible to do it. But why are you wasting so much time when you know that sir is going to draw some conclusion, and that is why he's testing us. So guys, correct. I was testing you because will be drawing you a conclusion. So let's say we have already taken the input, right? So my answer is currently 1. My answer is currently 1. Right. So what I will do is I will print my answer. I will print my answer. Or let's remove the print for one time. Right. I'll say that I apply a condition here that if answer is greater than n, if answer is greater than n, in that case, if this condition evaluates to be true, in that case, what do? You end. Otherwise, what you will do? You will do if it evaluates to be false, right? If it evaluates to be false, in that case, print answer in an output box, and then answer equals to answer plus 1, right? After that, what you will do? Answer equals to answer plus 1, and then you go back to this step. Answer is greater than or equals to n. So let's see what is happening right now, right? So your answer actually contains 1. Your n actually contains 5, right? So is your answer greater than n? Is 1 greater than 5? No. So false. Print answer. You printed 1. Answer equals to answer plus 1. So 1 equals to 1 plus 1, that is 2. Answer equals to 1 plus 1, 2. Right? You went to this statement again. This statement, this conditional statement. Answer greater than n. 2 greater than 5? No. So print answer. Printed 2, sir G. After that, answer equals to answer plus 1. It will increment 3. 3 greater than 5? No. Print 3, 4. Right? 4 greater than 5? No. Print 4. Answer equals to answer plus 1. It will get to 5. 5 greater than 5? No. 5 is equals to 5. But print answer. Okay. After the answer equals to answer plus 6. Now 6 is actually greater than 5. So will you be able to print it? No. Because 6 greater than 5 will return true. And whenever you return true, you have to end. So wasn't this the output I wanted? Wasn't this the output I wanted? It is the output I wanted, right? So you saw that we tactically introduced, just see if you were going to do, it is taking you how many steps? Many steps, right? Many steps. And this is getting done in such a small and concise and pretty way, right? Now this concept is known as looping. Why it is called as looping? Because you are running a loop multiple times and you are able to see that there is a loop here, right? There is a loop here, right? So if you are able to understand this question, here is the first homework question that we just printed 1 to n, right? I want you guys to print n to 1, right? And I want you guys to post this solution on your LinkedIn. And if you don't have the courage or if you don't want to post it on LinkedIn, please DM me on the Discord or please put it there in the Discord server, right? And I'm sure that many of the peers will support you, right? So now I will take, this is your homework guys, print n to 1, print n to 1, right? Moving to the next problem. So this will be the last problem we will be covering right now. This will be the last problem we will be covering right now. So I'd say this is the 10th problem, right? I say multiply n numbers from user. Okay, n numbers from user. That is, I have to take n inputs. I have to take n inputs. So a pretty tedious task, right? But I know that you will be solving it on your own first without seeing my solution, right? So start as usual. This is our buddy. Input n. Okay, how many numbers have to take the user? That is the input n, right? Input n. So now input n, that is the loop should run n number of times. I have to take n number as input, right? The loop should run n number of times. Am I right? Am I clear? Are we on the same page, right? The loop should run n number of times. So for that, I will do the same concept. Let's say my current number is 1. What I will do is my current greater than n. Oh, this is the conditional, sorry, diamond. If this returns to be true, then if this returns to be true, I have to multiply. So for multiply, I will keep a variable here, right? So before going here, I will keep a variable. Let's just say answer equals to 1, right? Because I have to multiply, so I will keep an answer equals to 1, right? If this value should be true, then print your answer and then end. Otherwise, what you have to do? Take input. Take input. Let's say I input A. I input A, right? Then my answer will become my answer multiplied by A, right? Answer equals to answer multiplied by A, right? And after that, I will have to increment my current, right? Cur equals to cur plus 1 for the further steps, right? What if I miss this step? What if I miss cur equals to cur plus 1? Then it will be revolving in the loop, revolving in the loop, revolving in the loop. And this scenario is known as infinite loop, right? Infinite loop. Oh, this will be a rectangle, simple rectangle. And then move here, right? So let us try to see what is actually happening. So let's suppose I provide n as 4. My n is, oh sorry, my n is 4, right? So what it will do? It will initialize cur as 1, answer as 1, right? Let's say my numbers are 2, 3, 4, 5. What should be my answer? 2 into 3, that is 6, into 4 into 5, that is 6 into 20, that is 120 should be my answer, right? Correct? Okay. Let's see if our answer is running fine. So my n is 4, my current is 1, my answer is 1, right? My current is 1. Is current less than greater than 4? No. It will go inside. Input A. So first input is 2. So A will contain 2. Answer equals to answer star A. That is 1 equals to 1 into 2. That is it will change to 2. Right? Cur equals to cur plus 1. That it will change to 2. Right? Is 2 greater than 4? No. This is the false. Right? This is running when it is false. Okay. Second input is 3. So answer equals to 2 into 3. That is 6. Right? Cur equals to cur plus 1. That is 3. 3 greater than 4? Again no. Next input is 4. A becomes 4. 6 into 4, 24. Store 24 here. Okay, guys. 3 equals to 3 plus 1. 4. Right? 4 greater than 4? No. 4 is equals to 4. So it will also gain to false statement, right? Last input is 5. 5 into 24. 120. And it will change to 5. 5 greater than 4. Yes. So print answer, guys. So print answer. Because 5 greater than 4, it will run to true and print answer. And end. So my answer is printed as 120 and end. So did you see that we have completed a tedious task in just a few number of steps? Why were we able to complete? Because we are understanding, we're not cramming things, right? So this is my request to you guys. If you're not able to understand anything, please watch it again. It's still not available. Feel free to contact me, right? I'm happy to introduce you. I'm happy to teach you in the Discord channels, voice channel. Like we can connect over voice channels. Okay. So I think this practice was enough for flowchart, right? But before discussing flowcharts, we discussed that there are two methods. There are two methods. What were the two methods? The flowchart, the pseudocode. So we discussed about flowchart. Now we have to discuss about pseudocode, right? We have to discuss about pseudocode. Let me clear the page, right? So pseudocode. See, what you saw in flowcharts is actually not going to help you that much. What will help you is pseudocode, because flowcharts, actually no one draws flowcharts, right? But pseudocode, many programmers write pseudocode. Even when I was in my second semester and I was studying, our quizzes used to happen and they don't ask us for the proper C++ code. They ask us for pseudocode. So let us understand what is the pseudocode. So as you can see, pseudocode is formed up by two words, that is pseudo and code. So code, you all know what is a code. Now pseudo means false. So if we combine them, it has a little meaning of false code. That is artificial code, right? So the things you were explaining in flowchart, if you explain them in simple English language or any language you want to use, right? English, Hindi, Punjabi, any guys, right? You can do that, and when you will write it in this form, it will be known as pseudocode, right? So I hope you are clear up till now. So for example, when we were adding two numbers, open your notebooks where you have drawn the flowchart, right? Compare the flowchart with the pseudocode. The pseudocode would look something like: take input 1, take input 2, like it will take input 2, then sum equals to input 1 plus input 2, print sum. This is one of your pseudocodes. Another pseudocode: take input 1, after that take input 2, then sum these up, then print the sum. This is also valid pseudocode, and you can see that these two do not have any connection with them. The algorithm is same, but the language I've used is not at all similar, right? So this is the example of pseudocode. Pseudocode does not have a language. Pseudocode is anything you have written so that you know what you have to do, like steps after steps, steps after steps, steps after steps, right? They are not a particular defined language. Like this is a pseudocode. For example, if we take uh, the counting from 1 to n, right? Counting from 1 to n, right? How will you do that? For that, what you will do is you will say take input n, right? Now in the flow chart, you have to draw the whole loop, like if condition, etc., etc. And yet it will say just loop from 1 to n in answer, right? First answer becomes 1, first then answer becomes 2 up till n. And for all these loops, print answer and your task is completed. This is a pseudocode. Like we discussed, the loop was actually converting the flowchart into smaller code, and now the pseudocode has explained the flowchart into a smaller code, right? So we are actually concising our thinking to express on paper, right? So this is the example of pseudocode. So now I will be going to give you homework. See, I don't think that pseudocode needs much of an explanation, right? If you need so, please comment in the video section, and I will please, if you will engage with me, I will definitely listen to your request. This channel I have made just to entertain consumers' request, right? So if you have any problem, feel free. I will upload the videos on pseudocode problems also. Right now, I don't think that pseudocode is actually that much important, so I'm dropping it down. Homework is the problems we discussed in the flowcharts. Write the pseudocode for all of them. If you encounter any problem, feel free to connect me on Discord. Otherwise, we can I can make a new video on the pseudocode also. I don't have any problem with that. Okay, so these are the two codes, that are flowchart and pseudocode, right? Now, does your machine actually cover up flowchart and pseudocode? Does your machine know about flowchart? Like, yeah, if I will tell the machine that this is my flowchart, run the code according to that. This is my pseudocode, run the code according to that. Will it be able to listen? Will it be able to listen? No. So up till now, we have just discussed how we are able to express our algorithm. We are able to express our algorithm to another person, right? We have not yet expressed our algorithm to the computer. We will learn that in the next lecture. I'm just telling you the glimpse that this pseudocode will be written syntactically, that is properly in a high level language. What is a high level language? A programming language per se. Let's say C++, right? Because we will be doing the course in the C++ language. A high level language is done. After that high level language is processed into the compiler. Compiler is like a translator between us and the code. Compiler will convert it into machine language. What is machine language? Machine language is binary language, because computer only understands about zeros and ones. And that machine language is run by computer, and our output is produced. And that output we get as our answer in a computationally efficient time, right? So this is just a glimpse of the next lecture. I'm giving the today's lecture is very short because I don't think that you need to rush on the very first lecture, right? So thank you for watching. If you are new here, don't forget to subscribe and support the video. If you liked it, please drop the like. Also, I would request you that please don't skip the lectures. In the sense, don't procrastinate, because the things will pile up and it will be a problem for you. I've experienced all those things. That is why I'm explaining you as a senior. Secondly, watch my lectures from starting till end. Don't skip. You can increase the speed if you want, if you find me slow, but please don't skip the lectures. Like, don't skip 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds, etc. Why? Because you might miss something important, right? So that's all from my side today. Thank you, and we'll meet tomorrow, whether in the GFC POTD or any other series I start, or in the lecture again, or the placement lectures. Okay. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day, and let me complete. Thank you. So we'll meet tomorrow. Bye. Have a nice day.